Hello everybody and welcome back to Cities Skylines, where we are working on finishing up this meta block and then deciding what to do with this space. It's going to be interesting. We can take this down to here. We can connect that in like so. We can leave this the way it is. We can take this over to here. And we could do that. I feel like that is about the best we're gonna get. We can do that as well, but I don't really want to do that. So we can just finish up this grid here, and we've largely decided where exactly our next college, and in fact our final college, is going to go. And that is going to go right up here with 2 meta blocks. So let's go ahead and outline that here. So we take this to here, 960, something like this. And we're just going to continue straight up this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this one is a 960. So this is a full turnaround here. So we go to 960. 960, like so. And this highway is this highway. So there are going to be no more highways up over here, realistically. So we can grid this up in this slightly awkward fashion. So that's 1 block, 2 blocks, and then it starts to turn. So we're going to need to run this something like that. Approximately. There's a little bit of a space there, but I think that might be okay. I mean, we could connect this in like that. Something along those lines. And then we bring this up over this way-ish. I mean, I guess that works. That would go all the way out there. I feel like that's not where we want to go. I feel like we want to take this with a curved road. Something like... I want to actually go a little closer to the water. Kind of like this, although I want it to be out a little straighter. Kind of like this-ish. I'm not super enthused by this bend. So we would need to change this up, something like that. And we would want to have this be straight out and then curve over this direction, although we actually need to take this back and go from this point if we want to curve correctly. Take this out over this way. And curve it something like that. Then over here. And take this out straight-ish, but we need to bend this back up over this way. And connect it in kind of like that. That's kind of our outer border here. So that's a thing. Okay, and then, we're going to have this fire watchtower that needs to be moved. So let's use the straight line tool here. And that sloped too steep. Oh, we can do it over this way. That is essentially our campus space for our 3rd campus. Now, we're not actually going to have a turnaround here because this highway is actually going to terminate over here. So I want right here, 960. Yeah, and this highway comes up through here. So this is where this turnaround actually happens. That was 920. So 960 there. So that's where that turnaround actually happens. Now we've got some flooding over here. We can do something about that. Maybe we should actually do what we're supposed to do with flooding. And where is it? I know in here somewhere. I've used it before. Is it maybe under landscaping? You can build structures that are specifically intended for this sort of thing. Not flood walls, but quays. These here. So then we do something along the lines of this. That's not quite at the right angle. So take that out kind of like that. Actually, I don't hugely care for this angle either. So then this would go kind of like this. Okay. And we're probably going to ultimately end up putting quays along basically the whole thing. But the purpose here is to just keep the water a little away from the roads, although it's going right through and over the quay here, but that's to be expected some of the time. That would be the purpose of having a pumping service out here. Because these waters are not hugely calm. And quays do not add a lot of height above the water, except in some of these areas. Can we change the elevation step on them? Hang on, let me check here. Maybe? No, elevation step changes don't work. So this isn't going to stop all of the flooding in the area, but it will substantially slow it down. So we can just build quays, like, around most of our island, honestly. It would be something kind of like this. Then we connect over here. And honestly, as far as finishing the shoreline goes, I feel like this is something we should probably do anyway. That went too far inland. I don't actually want it that far inland. I want it in the water, if at all possible. This will just definitely make our shorelines look a lot better. Just in general. As well as giving us proper boundaries. Oh, we need more water. That is accurate. Okay, so we need to pump additional water. So we're going to go ahead and pump, or drop down another pump here and connect that in. We also need to drain additional water. And so we're just going to have to put down another eco water treatment plant. We've got some space already occupied over here. Where can we drop this down? I suppose we could potentially get rid of our fire, or rather move our firehouse here. And build this here. And link it in like that. Okay, that'll have to do. And you can see that where we've built the quays, the shoreline definitely looks better. And we're going to be able to get our roads slightly more out here with them. So we're going to probably redo some of these coastal roads. But I also think, yeah, look at this. I think that in this area, we just need to raise the elevation right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that real quick here. Let's grab the level tool. And we'll just push that out about like that. And then we'll use the smooth tool to smooth out some of these harsh edges that created. And then we'll just create a road in kind of like that, honestly. And now we should be able to build some better quays over here. So let's just go ahead and... that's a pavement path. What am I even doing? I have forgotten where the quays are already. Here they are. Okay, so I'm just an idiot then. But that's fine. So we'll just build these basically along here. Like, right now, before we build our last campus here, we need to have more population anyway, because we can't really fill our current 2 colleges, and this one's barely even started. This one's unfinished. So what we really need right now is population, and for that to happen, what we really need is time. So I'm just going to go through and do some quaying here, I think. That's the technical term, is my understanding. Quaying. I don't really like where that ended up going, so we can bring this off over here. We're going to have some pillar issues here, so we're probably going to need to remove this section of highway as we go through to finish this shoreline a little bit. And we can take this potentially to here, and then out like that. That'll be fine. And then we're going to need to bring these highways back in. I'm going to utilize the curve tool to make this happen. About like that. And that. Close enough, I hope. Okay. So let's just continue finishing up this shoreline here. Do something along the lines of that. I suppose I could be using the curve tool here. And in fact, I probably should be. Do something along the lines of this. Yeah, this is definitely what I should have been doing the whole time, is using the curve tool. Should I go back and do these? I kind of feel like no. But for the future, we'll just use the curve tool. And finish this up like so. Well, I mean, not exactly finishing anything up. Do something along the lines of this. I hate that curve. That'll have to do. Where can we build this? Here. We can build this here. Okay. That isn't exactly what I want. Let's go ahead and remove this area over here. So I'm going to just knock this back a little bit. Like so. And then I'm going to take this out of here again, and we're just going to re-quay this. About like that. There, that's an improvement, for sure. We can do the same thing up over here. And just... I always go into the economy when I'm meaning to go into the terraforming tools. I have no idea why. But we can just lower this over here. Actually, I would rather be using the level tool. I'm assuming the water is going to fill that in. Yeah. Something like that. Well, I definitely don't want to be working on the quays at night. So, to that end, let's go up over here. And, I mean, we're not going to be filling in this area for sure. This is going to remain natural. But I'm pretty sure that this road connection here just isn't going to work. I mean, we've got some space already occupied issues, but I kind of don't even want to do it. We can actually bend this highway up and around. That might not be a terrible idea. But we're not going to have additional highway. Well, we are going to have additional highway going up here, right? So we can go ahead and slope to steep it up. But we can do something like this. There we go. That works just fine. Take this up over here. Like that. That's fine. And then the question is, can we do this? We can, and it's even quasi-non-terrible. It's a ringing endorsement, I know, but it is what it is. But yeah, that actually worked. somehow. I don't know how. Interesting. So yeah, this is where our next college is going to go, for sure. And then we can just try to decide how exactly we want to handle this highway, which I feel like is honestly the next thing we do. So we take this out of here, and hypothetically, we just put this in as is. We just plop it the exact default. How does that look? It's actually... not bad. I mean, the real question is, what about this side? That's the real question. I mean, there's definitely a significant height difference there. Maybe if we just add a little fill in right here, just to, like, hide it behind the rest of the mountain. So we just, like, bring this up. Something along the lines of this. Create a bit of a ridge here. Is that high enough? That is. It's non-awful. I don't actively hate that. We could maybe send these highways through up this way via tunnels. The way we did here. But I don't know about building intersections on this. That's going to be a little spicy. But I feel like this kind of works. And then we can develop this side of the mountain and leave this side natural. I kind of like that. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and... I do want to attempt to have ramps. That's going to be exciting. We can build a road like this. Any bridge there? No, that actually just worked. I'm completely and utterly shocked. And we can build this one as well. The rest of this is going to have some issues. There is bridge here. So we're probably going to need to fill in this. We're going to need soil for that because we used all of our soil constructing this ridge. So I think we just grab a little soil from over here. We're going to need to smooth some of this out. There's no doubt about that. But we can then try to fill this in at around that height. Like that. Okay, and then I think we don't have any other bridges. So that's fine. Okay, and now we can just start working on gridding up this area. That's going to be a little bit longer. Why is that 480? Is that just me, or should that not be 480? That should be 400. There we go. Excellent. So, yeah, the question then becomes, do we attempt to send these highways through? And do we attempt to have any sort of access to this highway? If we don't, if we have it limited to this highway here, then that's going to create a pretty big issue. If you live, say, here, you're going to have to make the choice of either taking the slow road all the way over here, or taking the slow road all the way over here and then doing that. And they're just going to take this. It's going to be awkward, for sure. any way we slice it. A sinkhole with a size of 8.2 is about to happen.
Should take precautionary measures.
And oh
forced to close down years ago.
my.
Shine in uniforms before we learned of the existence of that dangerous old flour mill. So
That
we're not responsible for what happened there on that awful
is going to be interesting.
night. We just want to focus on making great meals every night at the old grain mill.
Okay.
Family restaurant.
So what are we going to do about that?
From our family.
We need to get some soil fill. There's no doubt about that. So let's grab this position here, and let's fill in our soil by doing something along the lines of this until our soil is full. We're just grabbing from the seafloor here, trying not to mess with anything else. There we go. Our soil is now full. Soil availability full. And we know for a fact that this is going to take a lot of soil. This is going to affect the prison, this recycling center, these crematoriums, these recycling centers. This is a lot of stuff. So we're going to need to move quite a few of these things. I'm going to move this guy over here. I'm going to relocate the prison as well, if we can put it anywhere. We can put it here. What else do we have in this space? This incineration plant. We can put that over here, potentially. It's not ideal. This is actually still potentially within the area. We can put that over here. Move this incineration plant out of the way. This is not a very efficient use of space. I'm going to want to redo all of this, ultimately. I think. Yeah, this is very inefficient. I'm going to build a road for now. This is a temporary thing up through here, just so that we can do something like this. Then we're going to need a home for these crematoriums. One can go there. This recycling center. We can move it down over here, actually. Let's see, this is an incineration plant. Can go right there. This crematorium can maybe go over here. Is that okay? Yeah, that's outside of the circle. This recycling center can go over here as well. Many of these things we're going to be moving back once we deal with this. How's that? Is that out? Just about. I feel like it's not out enough. We'll move it over there. Any else of our buildings in this area? This incineration plant may be affected, so I'm going to move it to right here. This one may also be affected. So temporarily, I would like to move it over here. What else do we got? I think that's all of our stuff. We can rebuild this highway, no problem. We're just going to need to allow this to happen. At this point, we've moved all of our important stuff. So I think we're good. I hope we're good anyway. So, here's the question. Are we actually good? This sinkhole is right where we need to be. But we're, I think, as prepared as we can be. We've moved all of our stuff. We're full on soil, so we can fill this back in, and we should have enough money to repair everything here. So when is this sinkhole gonna happen? That is the question. Well, maybe we should leave it on a cliffhanger, because it is time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, actually. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I'll see you all next time when this section of the city is going to get destroyed. See you all then.